Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the first race of our summer season here at Apollo Racing Club. My name is Matt McAdams. I'll be bringing you guys the action here from my home office here up in the Pacific Northwest. Anyways, this week we are going to be at Misano. Right now we are starting qualifying here just a little bit on the late end here because we had to do a last-minute server reset. But let me finish getting the last of this stuff squared away, and we will get to watch the qualifying. Brandon Cobb on the camera right now, rocking a what can only be described as like almost kind of a radioactive green Lamborghini. I should mention it is a single make season this season. We'll be running the new Lamborghini Super Trofeo Evo 2s. Something I was lucky enough to see race in person in recent history, actually. Very, very exciting, but with it being a single make, it really does come down to the drivers and the setups here, and at Misano, the drivers are going to be a huge factor because this is a track that is basically a combination of bravery corners and cheating the track limits, just to be completely honest. So we'll see how the drivers do. We should start having the first of our hot laps coming across right now. Just a reminder to anybody who might be catching this for the first time, it does take a couple of laps to get the tires up to their operating temperature in these, these run the GT3 tires. So it'll be a little bit until we get our fast laps in, but most of the drivers are about ready to finish with those quick laps. We'll see. I think Jeff Fleischman may be the first one across the line. We'll see when the time comes across here. Or maybe this is his first one. Can't really tell. That would have been his first one. And I got to keep fixing a couple of things because of that last-minute server reset. It broke a couple of things. There's the quality split, so we can keep track of who's going how fast and when. New fastest lap comes across. So that is going to be our first lap times are coming across, and it's going to be kind of overwhelmed a little bit because it's going to be a lot of first fastest laps. But Ice 10 right now with the current fastest lap, that's going to be a 136.3, followed by Dylan Kaiser with a 136.9, and then Brandon Cobb across the line to secure pole with a 138.1. Let's see who else. We're going to get another slew of times across the line right now. There's Melon Pitch going across the line here. Or excuse me, Max. Oh, it's got the timings wrong. That's super fun. We've got Melon Pitch on screen. Does it change? Got Brandon Cobb's right. It's first race this season. There's got to be some things that don't work. I don't know what happened there, but we've got it all sorted out now. But it has Joshua Kimball on screen. Neato. Well, why don't I try to fix that really quick while we're just in qualifying? How's everybody in chat doing? As you can see, this is off to a rousing start. Go ahead and this is going to make those little pretty graphics go away, but we'll still have what's on the screen. Let's go ahead and get that out of our way. Got Joshua Kimball up there. We can throw this up so we can see our times. There we go. We'll give you that to look at. And let me get out of here. Let's see if I can't fix this timing window. Start Hopper 17, just fantastic. Yeah, no, nothing can ever be easy. So right now I'm trying to fix our timing board so we can actually keep track of what all is going on. I think it has sorted itself out. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and we'll throw that back up. There we go. Let's go ahead and hide that. There we go. All right, business as usual. Nobody saw that, right? Start Hopper 17. It's, I think, the first time I've seen you in here. Welcome to the stream. A little bit of a rough start, but we're getting it going. Right now, Su Chen is currently on pace to set the fastest lap again. Let me get control of my cameras. There we go. Let's go ahead and throw the camera over there. The number 117 Lamborghini for Yeet Gaming. Tommy Kogan in here. I'm tired, huh? Well, you should be out on track getting more tired. Come on, Tommy, what's your excuse? Let's take a look over at Eric Gottsacker. Right now, half a second in the Delta 6/10 now. Let's Go ahead and get that quality timing back up there. There we go. Keep track of our splits. Start out for 17. Technology is hard sometimes. Yeah, absolutely it is, especially when you're trying to run 2 computers in tandem. It's especially disconcerting when the primary one's the one that's on the fritz. And while we're doing that, I'm trying to get the secondary one working. Because, yeah, technology is hard sometimes. There we go. I think we're almost back in business, folks. The self-proclaimed professional streamer almost has the stream figured out 5 minutes into the stream. Your boy needs a break. That's my excuse. You basically drive every day of the week, so I'm just giving you a hard time. It's my job. Eric Gottsacker did cross the line with an improvement. It's going to be a 138.8. We've got everything fired back up. Let's go over to ice 10 right now. Half second in the Delta. Loses a little bit of it breaking into that corner. Coming into the final corner here at Misano. And he is going to come across the line with that improvement, moving himself up into 7th place with a 137.2. See anybody else with some... Ooh, Josh McKimble actually on a ripper of a lap. 1.6 seconds in the Delta now. Just 1 corner to go here at Misano now. And a lot of time can be saved in this corner. Let's see if he finds it. Ooh, loses a couple of tenths on the exit. But still going to be a solid improvement from him. For him, moving him from 15th up into 13th with a 138.7. See, that's why I said self-proclaimed, Paul. Because it's all made up. Let's be real here. Funny, you just did a race at Misano earlier, as did I. I was here Thursday night. We do have a Thursday night league where we're racing the Porsche Cup car, which is an absolute blast. Here at Misano, especially with no traction control, makes a lot of those low-speed corners interesting. But it was fun nonetheless. One of my favorite tracks. One of my most driven tracks. Spencer Brown right now on the camera. Currently in 2nd place with 2 tenths in the Delta, coming around the last couple of bends. Or wait, no, that's the... Yep, okay, I know where he is now. Now coming into the hairpin. Hard on the brakes, right in front of the 100-meter board. Oh, and then missed the corner. Looked like his steering gave out. That was weird. Jose Flores. Oh, we got a Lamborghini off the track. Another one coming around the corner. And the Relentless Motorsport Community Lamborghini. Does cross the line with an improvement. So that's a 136.9. Got a couple of cars piled up over here. Don't know if that's just pace difference or quality randomness, but that's going to be Max something lap on camera now. Star Hopper in the chat. I don't love Misano. Much rather have Zolder or something. Oh, Zolder. I was thinking Zandvoort. Okay, yeah, Zolder. I understand. Boy, I am tired. Zolder or something, but still a noob, so don't know. Or so yeah. What do I know? Well. If you're just getting started, you drive the track you like the most because that's going to get you on the track the most. And that's what we need. Let's take a look at Ricky Scott here, a little over half second up on the lap. Let me see if this thing over here is working. I sure hope it is. Sure looks like it is. It's coming around the final corner here, so maybe we'll save that for just a second. Still 7 tenths of a second in the Delta. Last corner, finds a little bit more mid-corner. Will he hang on to it through the exit? Oh, does bleed off just a little bit, but still going to cross the line with a huge improvement, moving him up into 6th place with a 137.1. I'm just going to take a look over at Su Chen just starting their lap and on pace to improve on it. We'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the onboard view here. There we go. Boom. Still on pace to improve 2 tenths in the Delta now. And here, let's all go deaf together. Let's listen to what it sounds like inside of that car. And having seen these cars in real life now, I can tell you it's pretty freaking close. onto the brakes down into the hairpin. Looks like a good exit. Oh, but runs it a little wide. It's still a valid lap, though. Ooh, that's not a great exit. It's still in the purple, though. Man, he is just barely ahead of himself. We're talking hundredths of a second here. 5 100ths of a second to be precise. What's especially impressive is just the consistency of that. Moves it up into a 10th. Can he hang on to it? Just one corner to go here. Or excuse me, 2. Oh, he's hanging on to it by a thread. There's a 10th. Oh no, and a weak exit. It's gonna go gray. Man, just 6 100ths of a second off of his best lap, though. That was a roller coaster ride. Let's take a look over at Alfonso. Currently sitting in P5 with 3/10 in the Delta, coming around the final corner here. That will be enough for him to move up a position. Let's see what he's able to pull off here. He does get it with a 2/10 improvement of a 136.6, moving him up into 3rd place. Take a look at thought I clicked on Dylan Kaiser, but apparently I clicked on Craig Bray. But nonetheless, we'll get to look at the Apollo Racing Club mod liveries. Again, the mods like to run matching liveries, or at least on-theme liveries. And they're running camo Lamborghinis with very intimidating mods spray painted on the side of it. Not a car you want chasing you down. Speaking of Apollo Racing Club mods, Melon Pitch and another one of the mod cars coming across the line with a 3/10 improvement. Will move him up several positions. Right now in to P4 with a 136.8. Looks like Shu Chen trying to go for another improvement on that lap time with a 10th in the Delta. Gets a little bit loose there on the outside now into the final corner. Got traffic up ahead. We'll see if that intimidates him out of it. Doesn't look like he's going to because he's finding time on the exit. He will improve that lap time to set a 136.22. Putting a 3/10 gap to Spencer Brown, who's now going to have to make up that difference. But right now, actually, Melon Pitch with a purple Delta. Let's go ahead. We're going to do this again. Let's look at the onboard. We're going to watch this lap. No longer purple, but oh, there it is again. 7/10 in the Delta now. Massive improvement on the exit of that long sweeping corner. Very frustrating patience corner, that one. Basically just have to sit there and wait forever to find the apex. 7/10 in the Delta, coming around the fastest corner there. That could be especially sketchy onto the braking, but he continues to find time. He is pushing that car as hard as it can go right now, folks. Now a second improvement in the Delta. Loses a little bit on the exit. We'll see if he finds it around this one. Nice cut of the track there. Final corner, 1 to go. He is on pace. He's got a second now. Can he continue to improve? He runs it wide and invalidates on the exit. Oh no. And right as qualifying ends in catastrophe for Melon Pitch with what would have been an absolutely monstrous lap. Let's go ahead and take a look over at Jose Flores. Looking for a 4/10 improvement in the Delta now. Can't help but feel like there was a little bit of commentator's curse there. If you end up watching this replay, Melon Pitch, drive better next time you're on camera. All right, I got one more car, 2 more cars out on track, I think. I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars on track. Right now we're watching Dylan Katz in the purple and teal. I love that color scheme on a car. That's one of the default liveries in the game too. Man, I love it. Oh, and Unvalidate's running a little bit wide. Looks like the Lamborghini behind him is going to follow that wide line through there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Alfonso getting ready to finish his line. Or his lap, excuse me. And does post an improvement, moving him up into 2nd place in the 11th hour here, in overtime, really. But does secure that lap time. Let's see if there's anybody else out on track. Looks like Roadside Cookie coming around the final corner right now. And that is going to end it. We're going to go ahead and look at this screen here just for a second while we wait for it to flip us over to the race. Big congratulations to Xu Chen with the best time in quali. Let's go ahead and take a look at those overall quali times. That's going to be Xu Chen, Andre Alfonso, and Jose Flores on pole. Big congrats to all of them. And we will have our Pro-Am splits later in the season. We just did have them set up for the first race, but those will be coming. Thomas Castellani in the chat. Stream upgrades are sick. Absolutely kill. I appreciate that very much, sir. But we are just getting started here. Oh, and we are trapped in the I can't look at the track screen, so that's cool. Let me hit. Can I hit drive? Can the spectator hit drive? That'd be really nice. I guess not. So we'll study some timetables here. Interesting here in the purples, Spencer Brown actually did have a faster first sector than Xu Chen's fastest lap. By how much? Looks like 4/100ths of a second. But a little bit slower in the second and third sectors, and it is going to be enough for that difference. So here, just in the third sector between Spencer, yeah, that is Spencer Brown, and Xu Chen. Let's see, that's 2/10 right there. So there's probably only 1 or 2 corners on this entire lap that is slowing down Spencer Brown from being able to get that pole position. But it is going to belong to Xu Chen for today. And you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do, because I want to do something here. Just bear with me here. Oh, I can't disconnect because it's gonna break all my timings. Never mind. We're stuck here in hell together. How you doing, chat? How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday evening. First Saturday of June. We're getting that close to summer. Anybody do anything fun? I got to go to a car show this morning, which was pretty cool. Got to see a lot. I'm starting to get to know the local community around here. Being a car guy myself now, I own a Ford Focus ST. I actually just finished installing a downpipe on it Friday afternoon. That was a more shocking change than I expected it to be. I got to work, and that was not fun. I'll drink to that, brother. Let's do that just so we're hiding in the chat. I guess nothing's really happening there. But we've got a good spread. 20 cars. We were getting a little worried about turnout at the beginning of practice. I think we only had 17 to start, but we filled out for a grid of, right as I say that, 19. Not sure what happened. Or was that? Whatever. I'm sure it'll sort itself out later. I'm not too worried about it, but 30 seconds or 38 seconds here until we start this race at Misano. We'll get a good look at the cars while they're doing their pace lap or parade lap. I think it's parade lap is the technical term, but something I should probably know. At least I don't have to work tomorrow. Oh wait. Yep, time for exactly. I feel that one. 15 seconds. Can I hit drive yet? Oh my god, I can hit drive. We've got the cameras back, folks. Let me do a little bit of preventative clicking. It didn't work. Do we have it? We have it. All right, we got our cameras back, folks, and we're gonna just in time to start our parade lap here at Misano. Looks like we'll be starting with a grid of 19. So it looks like somebody starting from the pits. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Helicam as we get this started. I don't know if anybody watches NASCAR, but earlier today, actually me and one of my friends who's driving today, were watching the, which one was it? It was the Xfinity Cup up at Portland International Raceway, my backyard. A track I have yet to drive on, but I've been to a couple of times. I couldn't quite make it up there today. I would have loved to have made it, but we got to watch the broadcast of it, which was very interesting. And the joke was going to be, and because it's Portland, the Pacific Northwest, it basically rained the entirety of the race, and so the joke was going to be when we all signed into Misano, well, I guess it's just going to be a repeat of NASCAR. Fortunately for the drivers, that is not going to be the weather conditions for today. They get to drive on a nice, dry track. Other computer squared away and sorted out. Looks like we got it back under control. There we go. Move the camera back a little bit and hop to the TV cameras. Get a better look at these cars. There's the mods livery. There's actually two mods right back to back. That's Joshua Kimball right behind him in the blue and lime green. And not to be confused, Max Sunkenlap up in front in another camo livery, but not the same one. There's a default livery in the game. So that's going to be fun. Just look for the mods. That's the only way I'm going to be able to remember who's who. Oh, we got a car off the track already. Not sure who that was. It may be Roadside Cookie based on how quickly he just tried to catch up to the rest of the pack. Might be a little negligent of me to name and shame without actually knowing who did what, but that's how we live life, fast and loose. Keeps things fun. All right, drivers are coming around the last couple corners here. Pretty soon they'll be getting the order to drive. Yep, there we go, double file. They're going to line up in their starting positions. And we are going to get this race underway. I want to say again, another big thank you to Apollo Racing Club for letting me host this stream. My name is Matt McAdams. Thank you everybody who has decided to join us before. If you're just getting here, we're about to start a 1-hour race here at Misano to start off our mini summer series in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Evo 2s. I'm very much looking forward to it as a big fan of these cars, and I am ready for this race to get started. Any second now, we will be getting the green lights, and this race will be underway. And there is the green light. We've got the green flags waving. This race is going to start. Looks like Shu-Chen gets a good start of it. Let's open it up to the helicam so we can see the first corner for a little bit. We got 3 wide there in the middle of the pack. Let's go back there. It does look like they kept it contact free, but just in front of them in turn 2, we've got contact between some of the middle of the pack. Looks like nobody spins around. We got a Lamborghini off wide there. There's already too much for me to be able to talk about, but we're still 2 wide coming down into turn 5 here. And this race is definitely exciting, that is for sure. Tons of positions being changed around right now. Just because we had a starting grid does not mean that even last 2 corners here at Apollo Racing Club, but it does look like we've got through mostly unscathed. Let's take a look at the front of the pack here. Spencer Brown and Andre Alfonso very close to one another coming into the first hairpin. Got our race leader, Shu-Chen, running wide off there. Doesn't look like he lost too much time to Andre Alfonso. Got hiccups at, of course, the worst possible time. Take a look at the back of the pack. It's still very tight back there. Not quite double file like it was earlier, but still very, very close. Jose Flores on the camera right now trying to chase down Jeff Spangler in 4th place. Those cars are doing, oh, I wish I knew the mile per hour conversion off the top of my head, but in excess of, I mean, they're going really, really fast. I think it's about 150 miles an hour around that corner. Just freaking crazy. Still things very tight in the back of the pack. I really can't get a good camera shot to show it, but here we go. Let's take a look coming around the final corner. We can see there's still 2 wide coming through there. Or excuse me, this is the final corner there. Craig Bray does get out in front of the other Lamborghini, but the inside line may be a little bit better. No, Craig Bray able to carry the momentum on the outside there and gets the better exit of the 2. And we can just see how close those 2 Lamborghinis behind him are. I believe that's Tim Wilkins and Roadside Cookie there. Well, let's keep them on camera because that is very close. We got 2 wide going through another corner. Oh, and there's a huge accident. Looks like Craig Bray gets spun around and is going to get hit by a couple of other cars. Let's see if we can get the replay to work. Yep, gets tapped on the inside by the 98 car. It's going to be Eric Gottsacker and just gets caught up in the wreckage afterwards. Not what you want to see, but we're just getting this race started. It does look like he has some significant damage to that car. I'm sure the stewards will be reviewing that one after the race, but let's look somewhere else. Jeff Spangler up a position since race start. Right now trying to chase down Jose Flores for 4th. Jeff Fleischman very close to another one of the Apollo Racing Club mods there, catching up to Roadside Cookie in that corner. DePaul at least 12 miles an hour. You're not wrong. They are at least doing 12 miles an hour. Man, and they are getting very close coming around that corner. Now hard onto the brakes into this next one. We'll see if he goes for the move. Nope, he keeps it at a nice, safe distance. Can't say I disagree with that judgment call. Oh, and there's almost a collision out in front of them. Very slow car coming around that final hairpin. New fastest lap of the race comes out of Shu Chen. We've got a little bit of a... Ooh, they're getting very close there. Jeff Fleischman almost going into the back of Roadside Cookie, it looks like. A little bit of a voice crack for the audience, too. Doesn't happen often. Let's take a look over here. We've got a battle between Max Sunkenlap and Brandon Cobb evolving. In that very, very bright green Lamborghini. Ooh, he's got legs on him. He's going to make a pass up the inside now onto the brakes into the hairpin. Let's see if he's able to make it happen. Does look like he's got it, but Mac is going to try and get the outside switch back, but doesn't have room to make it happen. There may have actually been a little bit of contact there between those two cars. Ooh, and then overcooks it into the most frustrating corner here at this track, but the outside line, he can get on the gas a little bit early, but it is going to be a drag race down the straight. Does look like Cobb hangs on to it, though. Ooh, it looks like Max Sunkenlap overcooks it a little bit. Brandon Cobb definitely took that corner a little bit better. Now we got 2 wide right behind him. That's going to be Ice Tin making a pass on the inside there. We just barely saw it out of the corner of the camera there. Hands it back to Max Sunkenlap. Now they're going hard onto the brakes into the final corner. We'll see who is able to get the position. Max Sunkenlap may be able to get it back. And it looks like he's able to. Ice Tin is going to have to try and make that pass again after some excellent driving there from Max Sunkenlap, but into turn 1. Ice Tin has the inside line, but Max Sunkenlap able to carry way more speed through that corner and shoot past him on the outside. Now he's got the advantageous line coming into turns 4 and 5. Let's see, he's able to get the power down just a little bit better. It looks like Max going to hang on to it, and this racing could not be possibly getting closer. And it does look like Max Sunkenlap may win the battle as a bit of a gap is starting to form between him and Ice Tin. What a battle, but oh, Max Sunkenlap runs it very wide off that corner, and that's going to let Ice Tin get close to him again. Let's go ahead and look at the on-screen view there, and we watch Melon Pitch make a leap up the inside of Max Sunkenlap there for another pass. Or excuse me, that pass was on Ice Tin, excuse me. Max Sunkenlap's still out in front there. But now Ice Tin has Joshua Kimball to think about with Melon Pitch out in front of him. He's sandwiched in between the mods. He needs to be on his best behavior right now, but he is still pushing for it, staying very close to Melon Pitch there. And now Melon Pitch is getting a little bit close to Max Sunkenlap, closing up that gap again, now just a half second between them. And now we have quite the battle for, this is going to be for P9, this battle here. And you see Melon Pitch eager to get around Mac there. Got very close under braking in the final corner. Let's go ahead and we're going to bring up Melon Pitch is on board. If I've got that in the right spot, I sure do. Oh, and we see Max Sunkenlap almost spins it there. That's a very tricky corner to go wide on because you lose traction. We saw it there from Max Sunkenlap. That does allow Melon Pitch to close the gap that much more. Now down into the first of 2 hairpins here. Looks like both drivers get a good line. Melon Pitch gets on his inside. Now it is going to be a race into the braking zone of the next corner. Anything could happen this hairpin. There's more than one line through here. Looks like Melon Pitch is going to go for the late brake on the inside, and he loses the back end. It's going to over-rotate on him. And that is going to yield a position for him and allow Ice Tin back out in front. He's going to have to fight to get that position back. And I would love to look elsewhere on the track, but right now this is where the action is at, folks. Max Sunkenlap runs it a little bit wide. We're gonna have to be careful about those. We can't see the penalties getting handed out on the stream. I'll be able to see them, but they're gonna be racking up some track violations here if they're not careful. And there are a couple corners here at Misano that you can get double warnings on. Take a look back here. Let's get the wider cameras here. It's going to be a battle of the mods here. It's between Joshua Kimball, Ice Tin, and Melon Pitch. Melon Pitch getting very close to Ice Tin there. Actually, looks like we have another battle starting to unfold here. It's going to be between Jose Flores and Spencer Brown. Let's go ahead, and we're just going to pull them up. We'll have a little bit more restrictive view. But, oh, actually, right as I say that, Ice Tin and is that Max Sunkenlap have gotten close again? Trying to keep track of two cameras at the same time. It's not exactly the best idea when racing is this close, because Ice Tin is now trying to make the pass on Max Sunkenlap again. Oh, and he goes for it under hard braking into the hairpin and just right into the back of Max Sunkenlap. Way overcooks it. Ironically, right in front of two of the mods. We got somebody in the chat. Let's go, Ricky Scott. We just got to watch a huge accident there between Ice Tin and Max Sunkenlap. It does look like it hasn't affected Max Sunkenlap as badly as it has Ice Tin. But now we've got a battle between the two Apollo Racing Club mods here. It's going to be Melon Pitch and Joshua Kimball. Let's go Ricky Scott, and then we got a Ricky Bobby. That's Ricky Scott up there in the other window there. Joshua Kimball overcooks it a little bit at the exit of that corner. That's going to give a little bit more time to Melon Pitch, but this battle is loosening up just a little bit. We'll see if Melon Pitch is able to close up that gap again to Ice Tin, and Max Sunkenlap off the track. Runs it way wide into that corner. We'll keep our eyes on Ice Tin here. Well, we can't really see. None of the cameras are really wide enough for me to see everybody here. There we go. Looks like we do have a little bit of a spat here between, yep, it's going to be Spencer Brown and Jose Flores. We'll get back to Melon Pitch and Ice Tin. Right as I say that, they get within tenths of a second of each other. I just cannot keep these guys off camera. The racing is too close. And this is my favorite, okay, just to anybody in chat, this is my favorite thing about single make races, is when you get a whole bunch of guys who are usually the same pace but in different cars, and you put them all in the same car, the racing gets really close. This is one of my favorite things. We can see Melon Pitch starting to close the gap to Ice Tin again. And they're closing on Max Sunkenlap as well. We're going to take a look away after this corner just for a second, because it looks like Dylan Kaiser and Tim Wilkins are duking it out now. Dylan Kaiser looking for the pass there on the left-hand side of that Lamborghini, now going to maybe get it under braking into the hairpin. That also looks like that Lamborghini has seen a little bit of action today. That front splitter a little bit bumped up, probably prevented them from being able to make that move on the inside there, but still fighting it out. And actually right there, of course, when we look away, Ice Tin makes a huge pass on Max Sunkenlap. Let's go ahead and see if we can catch that on replay. Yep, looks like he got a better exit out of that last hairpin. Max Sunkenlap goes too wide, and actually it looks like he allows Melon Pitch to get around him as well, and that is what happened. And so now it is Ice Tin 9, Melon Pitch 10, Max Sunkenlap 11. And now it is on Ice Tin to defend against Melon Pitch, who is certainly trying to get in his head there, staying right in the rearview mirror so he can definitely see him. And if you want an idea of how close Melon Pitch is, there's the camera off the back of the Lamborghini. We'll see again when he comes into the brakes just how close he is getting. Really trying to get that car past him. There's not room to happen. And now Max Suntenlap is catching him again. Start putting the pressure on him. Right now, the best thing for Ice Tin is just to get away, because the longer this battle goes on, the slower everybody is. But we're loving it from the commentator's booth. Looks like Ice Tin takes a defensive line there, goes for the inside to guard the apex. Melon Pitch trying to make his way around the outside. Had the room to do it, but not the pace. It was a very close passing maneuver there. I'm surprised that there wasn't contact between those cars, because that was a risky move right there from Melon Pitch. Certainly not taking any. Oh, and he's going to try and make the pass there. Gets the good line on the inside, but not the speed to get it down the straight. But he is still very close. There's that shot again of just how close they are. Now they're going to come hard into the brakes here to get around this corner. Looks like Melon Pitch backs off a little bit now into the third to last corner here. They keep it nice and tidy. And I believe they're going to continue in this order for the rest of the lap here. Now 2 turns to go. Ooh, and gets a little bit loose there. Both Melon Pitch and Mac get a little loose there on exit, but nothing too dramatic. And there, this battle is going to continue on. Spencer Brown getting very close again to Jose Flores. Now 0.4 of a second separates them. I believe, are they? Yeah, they are teammates. So it does make sense to see them such similar pace. Also explains the matching liveries. It's all coming together in my brain right now, folks. It has also just occurred to me, there are still 44 minutes left in this race. And I have been shoutcasting this entire thing so far. Let's take a look back at Melon Pitch and Ice Tin. They're getting very close again. And we're going to keep an eye on the battle between Jose Flores and Spencer Brown over here. Melon Pitch. Ooh, it looks like Ice Tin runs wide into the that's going to be, yeah, that's the crazy braking zone, fast right-hander. But that does leave him on the inside light here into the second to last corner. Melon Pitch does get out in front of him, though. 1 corner to go on this lap. We'll see if Ice Tin tries anything crazy. Takes the outside line, but that leaves him open to Max Suntenlap, who loses the back end and narrowly avoids putting it into the wall. Ooh, and things are getting very close between... Who is that? Oh, that's a blue flag car. Going for the pass there. Oh, we got a little double camera there, so let's go ahead and put that away. Now going hard into the brakes. Looks like the blue inside Lamborghini's got the defensive line, but that outside one may have the pace on the outside. Doesn't look like it. But that is a pass for Spencer Brown. Now sitting in P3. Now Jose Flores is going to have to fight to get that back. Got a message in the chat. I want to feel like the last lap of the Indy 500 for the next 40 minutes. Yeah, right? Jose Flores looks on the outside, maybe be able to get it on the switch back here with a good exit. Gets very close to the back quarter panel of the other Lamborghini of Spencer Brown there. Now has the inside line, drag race down to the last corner here. Dips his tires out into the dirt a little bit. And we've got a yellow flag from Roadside Cookie, and it looks like a pass by Max Suntenlap for a position. He is still losing time. I believe that is going to be because he is off the track. Let me see if I can take a look here on the other cameras. He looks like he's got it back on, but yeah, whatever happened, 11 seconds lost there. Oh, and Jose Flores, very, very close there, those two cars. Does make the pass on the outside on Spencer Brown. We'll see if he's able to hang on to it. Hard onto the brakes now into turn 3, or excuse me, that's turn 5. Oh, and he is just going to get shoved off the track by the other car. That's going to be Jeff Spangler. Excellent positioning there from the other Lamborghini. Now runs off wide and gives the position back there to Jose Flores. But that was very, very smart positioning there. Took advantage of the car on the outside, but then made the same mistake. Yeah, that was a great save from Mac. Even with traction control, these things have so much torque. It is, once the back end starts to go, it's basically gone. Jose Flores still trying to chase down Spencer Brown out in front, but with Jeff Spangler keeping the pressure on, it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to focus on his pace to catch the car in front, or if he is going to get caught up playing defense from Jeff Spangler there behind. Oh, it's very close. It's very close. He's going to make the move on the outside there. Just not an easy place to pass on the track now. Coming around turn 3. God, these camera angles just do not show us both cars, but it looks like he had the pace and makes the pass happen. Oh, but he overcooks it. And he is going to allow, it looks like, Jeff Spangler to capitalize on it again. But he runs it wide. Does make the pass on the outside. I'm not sure if he'll pick up a penalty for that one or not. Which, let me see. Do we have any penalties? Doesn't look like anything right now. So everybody's still in good standing. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I just did something silly. There's a better way to do what I just did. Thomas is noticing the weather. Yeah, getting a little bit overcast. It is getting dark. It sure is. I'm trying to take a look at the weather forecast right now without breaking everything. Oh, so I'm glad I took a look, because as Thomas Castellani just pointed out in the chat, it's getting a little bit overcast. And the reason that is because there is light rain predicted in the next 10 minutes. It might about to be, I can't even talk. We're about to have a very different race on our hands, folks. So let's go ahead and take a look here somewhere else in the pack. Craig Bray and Jeff Fleischman now duking it out. Got another battle among mods. Let me just check something. See, it clips a little bit, but that's okay. We can deal with it. Craig is finding a little bit of time in between the corners there. Turn 3 is very tricky. Now hard into the brakes, and we have to remember that Craig is fighting with some front aero damage picked up early on in the race. I believe it was lap 2. Yeah, it does look like it's going to get wet. It sure does. And we'll be keeping an eye on that forecast here. I'll let you know if anything crazy is about to happen. Speaking of crazy things, Melon Pitch has caught up to the next car in the lineup. It's going to be Brandon Cobb now in the crosshairs. We've got two very fluorescent Lamborghinis right next to one another. Racing it out now down into turn 6. Ooh, Melon Pitch has the pace on the outside. Excuse me, no, that's coming down to the final corner. Whoa! Looked like Brandon was suffering from a little bit of understeer there, just watching the car kind of list off the track, but Melon Pitch loses the back end a little bit, not able to make the pass happen now down into turn 1. Very close between these two again. Melon Pitch just not giving him an inch to breathe. But Brandon doing an excellent job of fending him off, keeping his car right where he needs to be to defend him, and has just enough pace to where Melon Pitch cannot get around him. Ooh, an interesting line there from Melon Pitch. May have been able to get the better line. Brandon gets loose on the outside, running it wide out onto the rubble strips, and that uneases the car enough to let Melon Pitch make it up the inside. We'll see what happens now down into the braking zone, but that may have been the pass for Melon Pitch. Brandon going to try a wide outside line, take the late apex, get the power down, maybe. We can see Melon Pitch's car wobbling quite a bit there. Very unstable, it looks like, from our perspective here on the cameras. Not sure what's going on there. But it does look like Melon Pitch is going to be able to get around Brandon there because of a mistake running it a little bit wide, but he is still within striking distance. We'll see if Brandon's able to make something up here in the next couple of corners. It does look like he's going to hang on to that. And just as we're getting ready to finish that battle, another one seems to have settled itself as well. Craig Bray does make the pass on Jeff Fleischman. Ooh, and you know what? Let me update that. There we go. There's everybody's mandatory pits. Which, let me make sure that's correct. Yeah, nobody has served their mandatory pit stop yet, so we're still waiting on folks to do that. 15 minutes remaining to do so. They have to change their tires. And it is getting darker out, which can only make me think that the rain is getting that much closer. Let me take a look. Actually, let's take a look up here. This battle between Spencer Brown and Jose Flores is starting to heat up again. While we're taking a look at that, let's look at that weather forecast. Hasn't changed yet. Still 10 minutes until we see any rain, but I will admit it is getting darker and the wind has picked up. Probably holding off to see if it's wet enough for the wet tires. Yeah, that's right. As I read that, I thought that thought. And now I feel silly. Spencer Brown, Jose Flores, still trying to decide which teammate gets to finish in first. If we're lucky, they might pull a Ferrari and take each other out. Time's the only thing to tell us. 33 minutes here at Misano, almost halfway through this race. And we might have some rain here in the near future. Ooh, and actually, looks like Ricky Scott going to be the first of the drivers to serve the pit stop. Going in a little bit early, I saw that the tower was updating a whole bunch. A lot of people moving. Just because we've got the first of our pits to be served here. We'll see how that plays out to him. Tommy Kogan in the chat. Only thing is that if it doesn't get up to the point where wets really make... Yeah, so what he's saying is that if it's only light rain, it may not even be worth going on to the wets to begin with. And there's reason to think that might be the case, especially considering it's only predicting one little window of rain, so it might just rain a little bit and be over with. You're right that it may not necessarily be worth the wet tire change. Which may be what Ricky Scott is thinking. We'll see. I am watching that pit timer, so we'll see how it goes. There is the rain. It has started to fall. And right now, I'm sure all Ricky Scott is thinking is, God, I hope I put the right tires on. But he's making his way back out onto the track right now. And I can't tell if those are wets or dries, but we'll have to keep an eye on his lap times and see if he made the right call. But with that rain falling, it is going to start getting interesting here, folks. Got a white flag from Max something lap. Not sure why, but he's doing just fine. Ice Tin making his way down into the pits now. I think people are going to start switching out for the wets. It is an optimum track, so that is possible. I think we just had a DNF there. I think somebody just quit, not sure who. Spencer Brown and Jose Flores still very, very close to one another. What did you say here? Black side. Well, so I've heard that theory, but I thought that that was overridden if you have, if you change the cover or the color in the livery editor. So I've never known if that was a reliable way to check. Ooh, Spencer Brown overcooks it a little bit coming around that corner. Let's take a we haven't done a little bit of the onboard action here in a minute. Let's take a look at Spencer Brown's point of view here, chasing down his teammate. Get a listen of what that Lamborghini engine sounds like. It is a thing of beauty, in my opinion. Ooh, a little bit of a dicey exit there for Jose Flores. Is going to let Spencer Brown capitalize on it. Goes for the outside move, and that turn is sketchy, but he makes it happen. Now hard onto the brakes down in here, and those rubber lines are going to start to get slick here as we can see the rear end of Spencer Brown's Lamborghini. They're kicking out a little bit.
We got the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
Oh! And almost loses it trying to get back onto the tarmac. That's what I'm talking about, folks. It is going to start getting very slick here. And it is going to allow for the pass on the inside there by teammate Jose Flores. We'll see if he's able to get it on the switch back, now coming down into the next hairpin. Oh! And I don't think that was on purpose there. I think they're just running out of traction here because we now see Jose Flores drifting off the track. And Spencer Brown going to make the recovery pass there on the inside down here. And this next corner is going to be very interesting. Let's hop to the helicam just so we can see what happens when they come down into the brakes. We're going to stay Spencer Brown's dash cam here. Whoa. Locking up the tires there on the brakes. You can see these drivers really are running out of traction here. Let me take a look at the forecast. We'll put that away for right now and just keep an eye on these two. But let's take, come on. Assetto Corsa, catch up. Oh, and both drivers go into the pits there. That was very interesting what just happened there. I'm not sure if that was contact between them. What car numbers are they? 12 and what? 26. Yeah, that did count as an accident right there between the two of them. That little bump there at pit entry. We got a lot of cars in the pits right now. Derek Stack still out on the track. But it looks like it is a very crowded pit lane right now, folks. Stop and go 30 is going to be handed out right there. And that is going to go to, oh, we got two actually. One to Max Sunkenlap and the other to Brian Katz now for speeding in pit lane. And let me take a look at these track conditions. See what we're looking at here. It is now a damp track. It is going to continue to rain, and then we go back to overcast in about 10 minutes. And what was on an already optimum track, for it to go right to damp, is not going to be a fun time for any of the drivers on this track. Let's take a look at, let's see if we can find Ricky Scott here. There he is. See how he's doing with his tire selection. We believe he's on wets. Right now, his pace is looking pretty good. Setting 137s before the weather change, now doing 138s. Does look like he made the right tire change, just the decrease in track performance, really, with just the tarmac being wetter. Seems to be affecting those times. So whatever he chose, looks like he made the correct decision. We'll see how that plays out for him positionally. Looks like he started this race in 8th, and he is hanging on to it. We'll see if he's able to do that for the rest of the race. Derek Stack coming in now for his pit stop. It's like Melon Pitch still out there, has not served. It is going to come into the pits now. Another stop and go, or excuse me, no, that's the same stop and go 30 to the number 6 car. I believe that was Max Sundenlap if I'm not. Oh no, that's Brian Katz, excuse me. Still got to serve that. Right now on camera, Xu Chen, our race leader, still has to serve their pit as well. You're going to see those positions shoot back up now as soon as he passes those two in pit lane. What will be very interesting is to see where Brandon Cobb is in the lineup, passing Melon Pitch, if he does, in the pit lane. We'll see. Melon Pitch still on the jacks. Where's Brandon at? Coming around the fast right-hander. Right-hander now down into the hard brakes. Going to come into the low-speed hairpin. But Melon Pitch is moving, but it is a long pit lane. We'll see. The undercut may have worked for Cobb. Oh, but he's held up by Ice Tin there. So he's coming around the final bend right there. Where is Melon Pitch? Melon Pitch can't do anything. He is still on the pit limiter. Let's get the helicam so we might be able to see where Brandon's at. Brandon coming into the first couple corners. I don't think he is going to be close enough. No, he is not. Melon Pitch is back on the racing line. Doesn't look like the undercut was enough for for Brandon to make up those positions. But we'll see if Melon Pitch's tire selection may play into his lap times. We'll see what happens. Looking around the field right now, the staggered pits does seem to have separated out the pack quite a bit. But it doesn't look like any more penalties are going to be held or handed out for speeding in pit lane, at least not yet. Still 3 drivers remain that have got to serve theirs. Brian Katz serving his penalty now. Xu Chen leaving the pit lane does get back out into first place with a 10-second gap to Andre Alfonso in second. Spencer Brown is going to be in P3, does look like, with a fairly commanding lead on Jose Flores. Not sure what happened, but a 12-second gap there. Does look like Ice Tin has hung on to 9th place after starting in 10th. Moves up a position. Brandon Cobb in P10 up 2 positions on the day. Joshua Kimball up 5 positions on the day. Looks like all of our drivers doing fairly well here. There we go. Should have had that up the entire time, especially back when I was trying to guess how fast our drivers are going around that first corner. Ooh, looks like Ricky Scott getting pretty close to Melon Pitch here. We may have a battle on our hands, folks. It is still sprinkling out there, folks. And yeah, we're going to see that kind of start to wane on Melon Pitch's tires. It makes me wonder if he's out on the slicks and just made the wrong guess. But that is going to be a pass for Ricky Scott there. He was doing 235 around that corner. I believe that is turn 7. We'll see if I get that right. Still some pit stops to go. Does look like Jeff Spangler, Shu Chen, and Ice Tin are the three that still have to go. So actually, to Brandon Cobb being behind Ice Tin, that actually does move him effectively into P9. Ice Tin opting to stay out. That was a ballsy decision. Ice Tin's last lap, 1 minute and 45 seconds. Time to go before he has to be in pit lane. 1 minute and 37 seconds now. That is a interesting decision. We're going to keep an eye on him, but Joshua Kimball and Roadside Cookie now getting into it. We see how close they are. Roadside Cookie all up the inside of Joshua Kimball, catching up to Brandon Cobb as well, it looks. Brandon runs it wide. Oh, and there's a little bit of contact between him and Joshua Kimball on the rejoin. Not sure what happened there. Sure the stewards will review that one. Looks like a racing incident to me. But it's not my job to decide such things. Multi-track gaming Rain makes track very interesting. Yeah, this track is already kind of a nightmare because you kind of have to cheat the track limits a whole lot, which means you spend a lot of time on curbing. And curbing on these... Oh, excuse me, we've got a disqualification to the number 603 card of Timmy Wilkins for driving the wrong way. That is not one we see often. Not sure what happened there, but that is huge. But again, yeah, Rain makes this track very interesting because that curbing becomes like driving on glass. And in these Lamborghinis, especially with all that torque, it can get real dicey real fast. Ooh, looks like a pass happens there. Yep, Joshua Kimball does get around Brandon Cobb. Pit window is closed. Let's see, did Ice Tin make it in? Doesn't look like he did. Let's see. I don't know that I trust that. Let's see here. I'm going to look over on the other screen just so I don't obstruct that. Nope, that count is wrong. For whatever reason, it didn't get their pit stops, but they did all three serve them. So actually, as mind matter, let's go ahead and get rid of that because they all served them. They did their job. They're good little drivers. I'm so proud of them. I bet he spun in the third sector, cut part of the track. That gives you an instant. Really? Ah, come on, Kunos. Be better. That is super unfortunate. I do know there's a couple of corners here where you can get the double penalty. But, yeah, that's rough. Got a lot of white flags on the screen right now. What I can only imagine is happening is those white flags are for folks who are out on slicks right now. Because I'm watching them lose positions here. Brandon Cobb having an exceptionally difficult time, it looks like, just trying to get the power down. But it does look like it turned into that NASCAR race again. A lot of changing road conditions, but that is not going to stop the close racing from happening between Derek Stack and Jeff Spangler now. Jeff Spangler looking at the inside, knows there's not enough room to make it happen. But it is getting very tight. It does look like the rain has stopped, though. And we may have a drying track here in the last 17 minutes of the race. But it does make me wonder if it was worth the gamble for the drivers who are out on slicks right now. I'm certain most of the field is on wets at this point. But if a dry line starts to emerge, will those slicks become advantageous? Jeff Spangler getting very close now. May be able to get the switch back and have the better run down the straight. It's going to be very close. Doesn't look like he got it, but he's going to have the draft now. Looks up the inside. Will he be able to make it? Doesn't look like there's room. Hard onto the brakes. Does look like Derek Stack got the better turn there. And Ricky Scott, our first pitter, is actually catching up to the pack right now in P7, which would be a position gained on the day. And it looks like he's got 2 more in his crosshairs. He keeps driving like he has been. Looks like he lost a little bit of pace there in a couple of corners. I'm sorry, I was looking away, but it's very close between these two. Jeff Spangler gets on the inside of Derek Stack and is able to make the pass. Now Derek switches on the other side of him. We'll see if he's got the outside line with the early apex here. Might pay off for him down the straight. We'll see what happens. Jeff Spangler leaves his car in exactly the right position to prevent Derek from getting on the power early, though, and he's going to have to follow him down the straight now. Ooh, interestingly, we've got Spencer Brown in the pits right now. It'll be their second pit stop. Not sure what's going on there. We've got a yellow flag on Jeff Fleischman. Spun the wrong way around on the track. Ooh, and gets very close to collecting a car there, getting the car spun back around, but gets the track going. Unfortunate spot of the track to spin on. Really no easy way to rejoin there. But let's take a look at this battle here unfolding between Derek Stack and Brian Katz, who is catching up to him. Spencer Brown in the pits, maybe changing tires, not sure. And we got Ice Tin into the pits as well. Oh, we've got a quote from one of the drivers. Was having fun at the back, got loose, cut the hairpin after a high-speed section, got disqualified for driving the wrong way. Yeah, so he was just sliding backwards. So even, he could have been on the brakes the whole time. It didn't matter. That's too bad. That's unfortunate. I'm looking around the field right now. This does appear to be the closest battle for position right now. It is going to be between Derek Stack, Jeff Spangler, and Ricky Scott, who is up another position, gaining 2 on the day, putting on a hell of a drive, especially with the early shout out in the chat. Hope the folks at home are still watching because he's putting on a hell of a good show for us here. See Joshua Kimball in the pits again. Jeff Fleischman is in the pits. Does look like the track is not drying up as fast as I'm sure some of these drivers would hope, or maybe if they're on the wets, they want it to stay this way, but it has stopped raining. There's 13 minutes left here at Misano. Not sure what could happen next, but really anything could happen next. Trying to take a look at something really weird just happened with my timings. I'm trying to do a little troubleshooting on the fly. Sorry, folks. There we go. Okay, I got it fixed. We're good. But it does look like we're going to be watching these 1-second battles between the drivers. 12 minutes left here. Not a lot of time for people to be making moves. It's time to start getting close to one another. But actually, of note, Alfonso putting on a monstrously good drive right now. Not only staying in second place this entire time, but his last lap was only 0.2 off of his best since the last pit stop. So some excellent consistency from there. But Xu Chen is just unstoppable. Very, very fast, but slowing. We'll see if Alfonso is able to catch him. That last lap had almost a second on him. We'll be watching that gap for sure. But it does look like that, there's enough time in this race where that might happen. Alfonso continuing to improve on the lap time, now 0.3 in the Delta. We'll see what he's able to pull off. Looks like the battle between Jeff Spangler and Derek Stack is starting to space out. Track does look like it's beginning to dry. The gap between Jeff Spangler here and Derek Stack is indeed growing. Now Derek Stack 2 seconds off of him. Ricky Scott does seem to be losing a little bit of time as well. And, getting towards these drivers have been doing this for 50 minutes now with changing track conditions this entire time. I imagine that a certain amount of that is just the mental fatigue starting to set in now. And it may not seem like much, but sim racing is pretty taxing in 1 hour spurts. It's a good test, is what I would say. Having done a couple of endurance races myself, especially once you go beyond an hour, it is amazing how quickly this game gets unfun. Let's see, who is that he has caught there? That is one of the camo cars. I don't think it's a mod livery, though. Let's see if we get an eye on... I think that's Max something lap. The number 66 car, it sure is. You see Jeff giving him the blinkers. And right now, this is a little bit of a godsend for Derek Stack now. Because having to pass traffic, well, actually, it looks like he gets right past him. I was going to say, having to pass traffic might slow Jeff up enough to let Derek catch him. That is not going to be the case. Got things bunching up back down here. Got Brian Katz running here, coming down the, looks like, is that the final straight? No, coming down into the hairpin. I believe that is Spencer Brown there making the pass. Brandon Cobb, though, up into P10. I'm pretty sure I saw him in P12 at one point, so doing a good job of recovering there. Melon Pitch also doing a decent job of recovering here. Now in P7, working his way up the pack this entire race. A little bit of a almost last to first challenge. Almost netting even on the day. Roadside Cookie right behind him. Down a position. A lot of movement on the field today. Xu Chen again. Just running away, but Alfonso is catching him. Keep an eye on that split, folks. It is getting closer. I don't know if there's enough time, but we may see them battle it out for first if he continues to keep up the pace. He was only, let's see, his best lap was 142.1, and the last one was a 142.1, so he is getting almost faster. But we can see the track is starting to dry out now. We're starting to really start to see the contrast between where the puddles are and where the dry parts of the track are. We may be getting to the point of this race now where we're going to start seeing drivers just try to keep their tires cool. So Melon Pitch getting within 2 seconds of Ricky Scott here. Starting to get to the point where we're going to see 2 cars on the same camera. It's been a little while. And Ricky Scott looks like coming up on Max Something lap out in front. Pitch just needs to get around Max Something lap. We can see the sun coming out now, so this track really is going to start drying. 6 minutes to go here at Misano, and we're going to start having, well, tire temperature problems because enough hadn't changed already this race. That said, Melon Pitch is closing the gap to the car out in front of Ricky Scott now, 1.5 seconds. Well, anybody who's on slicks might be happy right about now, but I wonder if it might be too late. Melon Pitch now still closing the gap to Ricky Scott, now down to 1.2 seconds. Okay, Melon Pitch gets around Max Something lap. Now Ricky Scott in the crosshairs. Let's go to the helicam here. Get the bird's eye view. Now charging up the straight. It'll be interesting to see what happens in these next 2 corners. It is going to be a bravery check for both drivers. Very high speed, 240 kilometers. 243 out of Melon Pitch right there. Hard onto the brakes, down to almost half of that speed. Ooh, Melon has the better line there on the inside, but we'll see if Ricky Scott's able to defend it. He's going to have the apex here. He's going to make Melon take the wider line, but can he get the power down? It looks like he may have now, coming down into the final corner. Ricky Scott on the inside. They get very, very close to contact there, but it does look like Melon Pitch has the pace to get around him, and that is going to be a successful pass for Melon Pitch, moving him up into 6th place. And now Ricky Scott going to have to fight to get that position back. 4 minutes remaining, though. Ooh, Melon goes a little bit on the inside there. Doesn't look like it's a battle for position, but Ricky Scott and Max Something lap beginning to duke it out now. We've got Max Something lap, looks like trying to unlap himself. And Ricky Scott on the defense. 3 minutes to go, 3.5 minutes here at Misano. It has gone from sunny to overcast to rainy to sunny again. All in the course of an hour. It does look like Max Something lap going to be able to make his way around there after Ricky Scott overcooks it just a little bit. Ooh, Ricky Scott getting very close on the brakes there. But trying to get that position back from the car that just unlapped himself. Which I don't know where Mac went, but he sure is gone. Let's look around here. Who hasn't been on camera an awful lot today? I think pretty much everybody's gotten some screen time. And I don't really see any battles for position. Of note, though, the gap is still shrinking between Andre Alfonso and Xu Chen. Now it is probably going to dip under 3 seconds here in the near future. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. I don't know if he's going to get it, but I think he can see him. He can. He can now visibly see the car he is trying to chase down. There he is there at the end of the straight. Question is, will he be able to get him in the next 2 minutes? Because I believe the next time that Xu Chen crosses the line, they will call final lap of the race. And then that time is up. 3 seconds between these two cars. Right as I'm saying that, does look like we're starting to have some other battles start to develop here. Spencer Brown, Roadside Cookie, battling it for 8th, now down to a 1 second gap. Let's get it on the helicam so we can see both cars. Ooh, Spencer Brown gets a very good exit there. And it looks like he's just going to walk right past Roadside Cookie now, coming down the straight. And good defense there by Spencer Brown. Blocks off the apex from Roadside Cookie, now down into the hard-braking right-hander. And it does look like that's a successful pass for him. And right there, as we're saying that, Dylan Kaiser also makes a pass. Not sure where they made it happen. Oh, but Ice Tin wants to get the position back, and he may just getting the inside line there. Now coming down into the next corner, he does have a good line. He's out in front of Dylan Kaiser and can dictate his line. Going to get a good exit there. Uses all of the track. And that's another successful pass there from Ice Tin, moving himself up into 12th place. Brandon Cobb also finding quite a bit of pace, was up 2.6 seconds on that last lap. He may, in fact, be on dries. Not sure. But the pace is improving significantly. Got some work to do to catch Roadside Cookie, 14 seconds out in front, but pace is improving for sure. So is Jeff Spangler's, 1.1 seconds up. Let's see here. Ice Tin getting pretty close here now to Craig Bray. Oh, and I'm gonna throw up a little onboard action here because we now have very interesting development. And that is that Andre Alfonso is almost inside of a second of Xu Chen now, with what I'm sure is only 1 lap to go. We'll be keeping an eye on that while we watch Ice Tin and Craig Bray try to figure out who's gonna go in 11th place. It looks like Ice Tin has the run up the inside, now into the braking zone here, into the next hairpin. He is confidently in front. I don't know if Craig can do anything to get it back there. That is a good pass there by Ice Tin. We'll see if he's able to hang on to it. And it does look like the time has come. The next closest battle is between Andre Alfonso and Xu Chen here. And I am certain, I didn't hear the announcement yet, so I'm pretty sure that this next lap will be the final lap of the race. If not, this might be the checkered flag. Let's see. We'll see if we're lucky. We'll see if we get the white flag. Nope, that is going to be the checkered flag. All right. Well, he almost had it, down to less than a second coming around the final bend, but that is going to be a well-deserved victory there for Xu Chen, followed by second place, Andre Alfonso. Jose Flores is going to be in P3 coming around the final bend now. We can go ahead and put that away. I forgot that was on. But now it's just donut time over at the end. Jeff Spangler comes in 4th. Derek Stack coming across the line in 5th. Melon Pitch coming around the final corner. That's going to be 6th place. Spencer Brown still got a little bit more time to go. Ice Tin finished in 11th. Craig Bray in 12th. Dylan Kaiser in 13th. Joshua Kimball in 14th. Max Sunkenlap in 15th. Jeff Fleischman getting ready to finish up here. Looks like Melon Pitch is already done. Spencer Brown crossing the finish line in 7th. Ricky Scott going to come across the line in 8th. And just a couple of stragglers. There's Roadside Cookie. I believe Brandon Cobb runs it wide off the final corner, but finishes in P10 up 2 on the day. And that is going to be our race, folks. Let's take a look at these times. So again, big congratulations to Shu Chen for winning our first race here. Definitely going to be a name to watch for this season. Andre Alfonso in second with the fastest lap point. Jose Flores in third. Jeff Spangler in fourth. Derek Stack in fifth. Melon Pitch in sixth. Spencer Brown in seventh. Ricky Scott in eighth. Roadside Cookie in ninth. And I believe that was Brandon Cobb to round out the top 10. Well, that is going to do it for us here tonight, folks. Thank you, everybody who joined us. This was our first race. We've got 5 more to go, and it's going to be every Saturday. I believe we're off next Saturday because we were going to do a charity race, which got rescheduled. So we will not be here next Saturday. However, the Saturday following that, we will be here again, and we're going to be racing at Oulton Park, which is going to be all sorts of exciting. So I hope to see you all there. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow the channel so you get those notifications whenever we go live. We've got races almost every night of the week covering everything from F4 to IndyCar. Definitely tune in for the other streams. But that's going to do it for me. My name is Matt McAdams. Thanks again for having me and joining me for this stream. I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weekends. Have a good night, everybody.